Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Cormier, founder of the Nerve Health Institute, and I want to talk about this phrase of weight of the world being on your shoulders. So in today's world, so much is done with our shoulders. We lift things, bring things up, carry platters, carry suitcases, carry books, have things that we're constantly doing with our shoulders. Even lifting a suitcase into an airplane, or on top of a bed in a hotel, or just doing daily chores at your house. It all involves shoulders. And when you have shoulder issues, you start to feel like the weight of the world is affecting you. And it could be that your job involves shoulders so much more than you realize. And it could be that you're delivering items, where you're carrying and delivering items. Maybe you're picking up items, putting them on the shelves. Maybe you're sitting back behind a computer and doing this. It could be sports as well that you're doing for recreation, or maybe on a professional level or amateur level. You could be swinging a racket for tennis or volleyball or pickleball is really popular. Or maybe you're swinging a golf club, or you're swinging a baseball bat, or you're throwing a ball, throwing a football, for instance. So much involves this actual shoulder and the function of it. There are so many different muscle groups that surround your shoulder that provide various ranges of motion. And each one of these muscle groups is provided energy from your brain through a nerve to it. So they each should be working harmoniously together to accomplish whatever you're trying to do, whether it's reaching this way, or all together doing a certain motion. So one of the biggest things that we see with shoulder problems, it'll start with just a simple disconnect of energy to one or more of your muscle groups in your shoulder. And what do I mean by that? Well, these muscles in your shoulder do not work without your brain sending energy through nerves to them to make them work. So I want you to think about it. It just takes one of those muscles to lose energy from your brain and get a little bit weak to change the entire harmony and the harmonious function of the shoulder. So you could be playing basketball and go to shoot a layup and somebody bumps your arm, and that maybe shuts off energy to a muscle group. You could reach back for your kids in the back seat and turn off energy to a muscle group. You could reach for something heavy in your pantry forward and go to pick it up and something shuts off. And then that causes a myriad of events. So this problem generally will start with just maybe something that doesn't feel right in your shoulder. You notice that maybe just the movements are not feeling exactly like they were before, where something used to be easy to do and maybe it's not as easy. And then if you don't take care of it properly and go to somebody who is actually going to address this deep-rooted cause, it'll turn into something else and something else and something else. And next thing you know, you got a snowball going downhill with a plethora of inflammation and something tearing or breaking in your shoulder. We see this all the time, and I would much prefer to see somebody in the beginning phases where we fix this before things start to tear and break. And then we see a patient sometimes that if it's had 2, 3, 4, 5 shoulder surgeries that maybe were not successful. And so that makes it even more challenging. Maybe there's hardware and screws or rods, and it makes it even more challenging to be able to help. And we also see a lot of patients that maybe have had what I feel are unnecessary surgeries or unnecessary injections, where injections maybe are just administered to help them temporarily with the inflammation around the shoulder, but aren't addressing the actual energy loss to a particular group of muscles that's actually causing the weakness that's leading to the inflammation. So how we help here with shoulder issues at the Nerve Health Institute, we start with the basics and we get into your brain here, and we actually make your brain send out power to each individual muscle group within your shoulder. And I want to say something. We don't just stop there. We go through your entire breaker box, all of your nerves, your brain, your spinal cord, all the 88 major nerves, and we see exactly where energy deficits are to various groups. And keep in mind, there could be a nerve down maybe in your foot that could be affecting a nerve in your shoulder. And it's because we have this motion that we're going through every single day, whether it's just sitting at a computer, whether it's actually sitting in a car doing various motions. It could be actually doing something with your particular job, or maybe something in a sport, or something on the side that you're doing. It could be casting a rod. I mean, there's so many different things. They're all involving all 88 nerves, and they can each have influences on each other. And the shoulder is so complex. There's so many different ranges of motion in the shoulder, going up and down and back and sideways and twisting. There's so many different ranges in the shoulder that are being done by various nerves, providing various power to or energy to those muscle groups. We have to figure out exactly where the power outages are to be able to restore shoulder function. And so when we catch this problem early, we catch shoulder problems early, it's generally very easy to fix, and it doesn't take us very long. When we see more severe shoulder problems, it takes us longer to be able to help. So if you feel you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, know there's help here at the Nerve Health Institute. I'm Dr. Chris Cormier. Come on in.